So friends, good morning and welcome back to a new semester. We are doing with managerial economics. The first chapter is about the nature and scope of managerial economics. In total, in this module, we have around 4 chapters. The 4 chapters are very easy. First one is nature and scope of managerial economics. Second is about cost. Third is about price and output determination, and fourth is about demand forecasting. So we'll be doing the first chapter now, the nature and scope of managerial economics. That means what is the extent and the usefulness of managerial economics. That is what is dealt in this chapter. As you can see, in this chapter we have around 8 titles that we have to handle. So we'll be dealing with the titles part by part. So some of this I hope you have studied in your previous classes also. Most probably 1.4 production function you have studied, then 1.5 law of variable proportion you have studied, law of returns to scale you have studied, also economies and diseconomies that comes part of returns to scale, you should have studied that, and also about capital budgeting, I hope so. So this might be a revision for you, but then how this is used in managerial economics, that is also an important factor which we have to analyze. Yeah, so let's start with the nature and scope of managerial economics. Now what is managerial economics? Now in the second sentence we can see it's a special branch of economics. It provides tools and techniques to analyze and understand the complicated business problems. So the complicated business problems we are trying to analyze using managerial economics. In other words, managerial economics is useful in decision making and forward planning. Suppose you are in a business unit and you have to make a decision whether to take this input or not. So that is a decision that you have to make. So managerial economics helps you to make such a decision and also helps you to plan forward. So decision making refers to selection of one action from several alternatives. So there will be many alternatives. From that alternative you are deciding, fine, I will go this way. And forward planning is nothing but chalking out future plans. So their future plans are being chalked out using forward planning, what should happen in the future. So let's go into the characteristics of managerial economics. Some of the characteristics are, first of all, it's micro in nature. This you might have studied in your micro, macro, looking into the small things. Managerial economics is micro in character. Micro means the study of individual aspects. Managerial economics is interested only in individual firms and not in the entire economy, because decision is made for a particular firm, not for the entire economy. Uses theory of firms. Managerial economics make use of the theory of firm by and large. Occasionally, it touches a branch of distribution theory, that is profit theory. Some aspects of macroeconomics are relevant in decision making and forward planning. Theories of trade cycles, international trade, balance of payment are also immense importance in certain decision making. So, uses theory. Generally, it uses the theory of microeconomics, but some of the theories of macroeconomics are also used. Third one, at times uses macro. That's what I told you upper. Managerial economics makes use of macroeconomics in some business decisions. Macro means study of the aggregate topics. Some aspects, some topics which are relevant to business decisions are macro in nature. Economic policies of the government relating to public finance, international trade, anti-monopoly measures, labor welfare, trade cycles, and national income accounting are beyond the control of business executives. So they have to study or use these macroeconomic principles. Fourth, profit maximization. Of course, the goal of any operating firm is profit. So profit maximization is not the sole aim of business activity. Though the firms are interested in reasonable profit, they are not motivated by the goal of profit maximization. The firms have to stress on labor welfare activities, anti-pollution drive, charitable donations. So the goal, though it is profit maximization, but all these things have to be taken into consideration, like labor welfare activities, anti-pollution drives, all these have to be taken into consideration. Fifth, non-economic consideration. The managerial economics gives importance to non-economic consideration also. Human and behavioral factors, environmental factors, technological considerations. These all play a very important role while making a business decision. Even the politics and the society which you are living in plays a very important role in decision making. So non-economic considerations are also important. Next is pragmatism. The managerial economic is pragmatic. That means what use it is. Utility or use is very important. It avoids the dogmatic principles and abstract issues of economic theory. So all those abstract thoughts are there, that is not taken here. Only that is there can be used practically are used in managerial economics. It's normative. Managerial economics is normative economics, dealing with decision making problems. It is not descriptive but prescriptive. It prescribes solution. That means it gives us a norm and also prescribes solution to the problems of management. It's realistic. Managerial economics is realistic in nature. It is because in solving the problems of the firm, managerial economics is of immense importance. So it is realistic. Next, it uses modern tools. Managerial economics makes use of most modern tools of mathematics, statistics and operations research. In decision making and forward planning, the principles such as accounting, finance, marketing, production, etc. are used. So all the modern tools of business are being used in macroeconomics. Everything that involves max, stat, operations, etc. are used in managerial economics. It's different from other sciences. Managerial economics is different from other disciplines in the field of economics. Managerial economics is specifically related to business decision making. So that is the focus. How to make a decision in a business. So that is the focus. So it is different from the other sciences to which economics is related to. Hence, it selects the theoretical tools which can be applied, directly applied, empirically tested. Managerial economics is closely related to operation research and management service. So these are the 10 characteristic features of managerial economics. First of all, micro in nature, uses theory of firm, at times uses macro, profit maximization, non-economic consideration. It's pragmatic, normative, realistic, uses modern tools and differs from other sciences. You have to study the 10 and give the explanation in your own words. Now, what are the scope of managerial economics? Scope means the coverage or the province covered by the subject. So, what all things are covered by the subject is called as the scope. First of all, let's look into the subject matter of managerial economics. The managerial economics is concerned with the application of economic analysis to the problem of decision making and forward plan. As we saw in the first introduction itself, we have to, this managerial economics tries to find solution to problems of decision making and forward planning. So, the subject matter of managerial economics is confined to the following 6 topics. Okay, what is the subject matter of managerial economics? So, let's look one by one. Demand analysis and forecasting. Now, this is coming as your last chapter. So, keep this in mind. Yeah. An accurate estimation of demand is major part of business decision making. So, you have to accurately estimate what the demand will be in the coming year. So, that is part of decision making, business decision making. So, demand analysis and forecasting into the future is also very important. Since the traditional demand theory explains the consumer behavior, it is very useful in demand estimation. Prior to the preparation of production schedule and employment of resources, prediction of future sales is necessary in order to strengthen the markets and enlarge the profits. Demand analysis helps to forecast the sales and to manipulate demand and to change the demand as and when it is required. A number of factors influence the demand, that is there. Demand analysis is helpful to identify such factors. Identification of factors determining demand is essential to increase the demand. Of course, when we identify a factor, it is required to increase the demand. Such factors are called as demand determinants. We have studied this in the previous economics class also. What are demand determinants? Something that affects the demand are demand determinants. Choice of a suitable method for demand forecasting is another issue in this context. So, demand forecasting into the future. What all methods do you use? Demand forecasting relates to study of demand determinants, demand distinctions and demand forecasting. Second, cost and production analysis. Now, this also is a scope or the subject matter of managerial economics. How to produce a thing, what is the cost of production and how to produce, that is the production analysis is done. An accurate cost and production analysis is necessary for profit planning, cost control and sound pricing practices. For short run operations as well as long run operations projects, cost estimation is essential. Cost and production analysis are interconnected. So, there is a connection between cost and production. Of course, if you want to make a biscuit, you have to look into the cost of raw materials, the cost of other productions, and the machineries used. All these are part of cost. And what kind of technology are you using? That is production analysis. So both of these are interconnected to each other. Production analysis refers to the physical quantity of production, whereas cost is expressed in monetary terms. Cost production analysis cover cost concepts and classification, cost output relationship, economies and diseconomies of scale, etc., which will come into the following chapters. Now, price decision and policy practices. Most important area of management economics is pricing. Now, cost is over, that is before production. Price is after production. So, most important area of management economics is pricing. Accurate determination of price decides the future of a firm, otherwise the firm will go in loss if the price is less. Since firms work for profit, pricing decisions are to be taken with sufficient vigil. You have to be very much vigilant while taking decision on price. To solve the price fixation problem, price determination theories come to the assistance of the firm. Knowledge of the market condition, degree of competition, the steps to be taken for sales promotion should be known by the firms. Price decisions, policy and practices cover price determination under different markets. So, this is also an important scope or area where you have to make a decision. Profit management. Profit making is the purpose of any business firm, and profit is the measure of its success. Various internal and external factors causes variation in cost and revenues of the firm. Hence, the firm have to work under conditions of uncertainty. Profit analysis would have been an easy task if future is certain and known. Under the conditions of uncertainty, profit planning is absolutely necessary. Fluctuation in demand, wide ranges in price of inputs and products, changes in number of competitors, degree of competition, changes in technology, methods of production, changes in government policy, social, political, environmental, all these are uncertainties because of which we cannot tell what our profit will be. For example, we made biscuit, the cost of production was very less, we determined the price, it came to the market, but if lockdown is there, people will not go to the market and buy biscuit, no? So, uncertainty happened. So, we have to actually forecast even into the uncertainty and try to make a profit planning, how much will be our profit in the coming academic year, coming financial year. That is important. Important techniques used in profit planning are control of cost, profit pricing policies, break-even point analysis, and alternative price policies, etc. Profit management covers nature and measurement of profits, profit policies and techniques of profit planning. Yeah, now the next is capital management. Capital is a scarce and dear factor. Success of a business depends upon successful capital management. Since the business is full of risk and uncertainties, capital investment needs utmost care. Issues related to the firm's capital investment are most complex and troublesome. Involvement of huge amounts makes it disposable time consuming, labor expensive and top level decision making. Capital management means planning and control of capital expenditure, accurate calculation of the profitability of capital investment, choice of capital investment, and optimal allocation of the capital are the three problems of capital management. What are the three problems? Accurate calculation of profitability of capital investment. You have to calculate accurately the profitability. Choice of capital investment and optimum allocation of capital are the three problems of capital management. Analysis of the various criteria for investment decision and selection of a suitable one is really most complex, troublesome and ticklish problem. The future of the firm depends on proper evaluation of capital investment projects and selection of most profitable one. Cost of capital, rate of return, selection of projects are the main aspects covered under capital management. Yeah, and the sixth one in the subject matter is linear programming and the theory of games. There is a trend towards integration of managerial economics and operation research in the recent years. According to Clarkson, since operation research is devoted to the task of improving behavior, the scope of managerial economics can only be viewed as including these activities and techniques. Hence, techniques like linear programming, inventory models, theory of games, etc. are considered part of managerial economics. I hope you have studied this linear programming and theory of games in your previous classes. Otherwise, we will be explaining it in the coming chapter in detail. If it is required, we will be explaining it when we come back to the classes. Yeah, so these are the subject matters: demand analysis and forecasting, that is even before production. Before post production it is pre-production, it is demand. We have to analyze what is demand and what will be the future demand. Then cost and production, that is just before production this happens. We have to analyze the cost and production analysis. After production, what comes is pricing, policy, practices. Now after that comes profit management, how we have to manage the profit. Then capital management and linear programming. These are the subject matters of managerial economics. Now the relation of managerial economics with other disciplines. Now examination of the relation between managerial economics and other disciplines throws more light on the nature and scope of the subject. So what are the relation to some subjects like economics, statistics, mathematics and accounting? That's what we are going to look into. Now economics and managerial economics. Economics is a study of economic behavior of human beings, divided into two parts: microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics study of individual aspect, macro study of aggregate aspect. The managerial economics simply applies the economic theory to the business world. Managerial economics is a special branch of economics. Economics is a root, whereas managerial economics is the fruit. That is the difference. Now, the managerial economics derives tools and techniques from economics to solve the managerial problems. The relation between economics and managerial economics can be analyzed as under. First of all, economics deals with economic principle. Managerial economics applies this principle to the problems of the firm. Okay, economics gives us a principle, whereas managerial economics applies this principle. Economics includes both micro and macro aspect, but managerial economics is largely micro in character, only micro, because it's about individual firm. Only some macroeconomics theories are taken, otherwise it is micro in its aspect. Economics deals with problems of both individual and firms. Managerial economics is interested in the problems of the firm, not the individual. Economics deals with all theories of distribution. Managerial economics deals with only theories of profit, not all theories of distribution. Economic principles can be used to solve the problems of managerial world in the four aspects. First of all, harmonizing traditional theoretical concepts of economics in relation to the actual business behavior and condition. Theory of profit maximization is an example. So we are bringing the traditional theory concept to the actual business behavior. This is the application of the theory. Estimating economic relationship for forecasting. For example, a measurement of elasticity of demand, cost output relationship. This can be used for forecasting. Predicting relevant economic quantities in decision making and forward planning to avoid loss. Business policies related to profit. So understanding significant economic forces influencing business. That is business cycles, economic policies of government and fluctuation in national economy are some of the things. So this difference we just saw. Economics deals with both micro and macro. Managerial deals only with micro. Economics with only principles. Managerial economics is the application of those principles. Economics with only firms and industry. Managerial economics it's only firms and individual. It should be in economics, not industries. Firms and individuals. Macro in managerial economics it's only firms. Here the theory of all theories of distribution are there, whereas in managerial economics only theory of profit is used. Now besides the following areas of economics are found useful in the managerial economics. Now these are some of the other theories which are used in managerial economics: demand theory, business financing, theory of firm, price output, money and banking, public finance and fiscal policy. This is macro. Some of the macro policies which are used in managerial decision making. So that is the first thing. Second is statistics and managerial economics. Now statistics is a very useful discipline to managerial economics. The managerial economics employs statistical techniques for empirical testing of economic generalization and for demand forecasting. Now statistics, the theory of statistics, method of statistics is used where by managerial economics in demand forecasting. So the maps, the graphs, etc. will be used over there. Now mutual relationship can be expressed as follows. Generalization requires empirical test. Statistics provides tools and techniques for empirical testing. Statistics provides individual firms with measures of appropriate function relationship involved in decision making. So statistics is the one which provides individual firm, one or the other firm, with measures of appropriate function relationship. What is the function relationship? What are the determinants involved in decision making? The business executives have to take their decision in an uncertain framework. The theory of probability evolved in statistics provides the logic for dealing with certain uncertainty, because they have to make decision making is made in uncertainty. So in that case, how we have to make a decision, logic, how you have to use, is given by the theory of probability. To find best solution or best alternatives to the problems, linear programming is used by business executives. Now linear programming comes in statistics. Okay, managed economics makes use of correlation and multiple regression in business problems involving some kind of cause and effect relationship. So correlation techniques, then the regression, multiple regression techniques, all are statistical techniques which are used in this managerial economics, which you have studied in your second BU classes, statistics. Yeah. So now mathematics and managed economics. So since managerial economics is metric in character, mathematics is closely related subject. Usage of mathematical tools and concepts have become inevitable to solve problems and take business decisions. Mathematics have become an integral part of managerial economics. Mathematics also plays a very important role, like trigonometry, geometry, trigonometry, algebra, logarithms, exponentials, vectors, determinants, matrix algebra, all these are used in managerial economics in higher levels. You need not study what all things are used, but then it is used, that much is enough for the time. Accounting and managerial economics, of course, accounting is inevitable factor in managerial economics. Accounting is a discipline which is concerned with recording of financial operation in business firms. You have to keep a record of the accounts of the previous year in order to make a business decision. Cost management or profit management or management accounting, all these things are possible only if you know accounting of the previous year is available for you. Next is operation research and managerial economics. Now, Savage and Small defined operations such as the application of mathematical technique to application of mathematical techniques to the solving of business problems. Operation research is closely related to managed economics. Operation research makes use of highly mathematical tools to solve the problems of the business. Business executives find the usage of operation research in the field of product development. Of course, operations means how things are done. That means how the production happens. That is called from now in the inbound logistics area, from in which the raw materials comes from the place to the production firm. From there, how the operations happen, that is operation. How does the function of production happen, that is all about operations. Now, business executives find the usage of operations research in the field of product development, specification and acceptance of materials, inventory control, inspection and quality control, marketing, demand analysis. Everything are part of this operations research and managerial techniques. So all this linear programming, input output analysis, inventory theory, information theory, probability theory, queuing theory, games theory, all this is part of important rules of operation research which have to be used. So these 5 factors we have looked for. We have looked operations research and managerial economics, accounting and managerial economics, maths and managerial economics, statistics and managerial economics, and economics and managerial economics. So that is the relation with the other subjects. So there we stop with the first part of the explanation. The first point and second point is over. Yeah.